at first sight is like the gift that keeps on giving when we may not want it to, when we didn't ask it to, especially the past seasons. Ryan Oubre from season 12, which was, where were they? Atlanta, has come out to talk about his divorce from Clara. As we remember, or as you guys remember if you watched the show, Ryan and Clara were the mixed couple, the biracial couple, mixed race. They were the mixed race couple that was paired together that did not have sex. It ended up coming out that what Clara eluded that she was going down on him. She was giving. He was not reciprocating in any form or fashion. She was a very sexual person. She wasn't getting that. It was a whole hoopla back and forth. They ended up staying together through decision day, saying yes. Ultimately, they ended up filing for divorce a couple of months after decision day. Ryan is speaking out. Clara is speaking out. Drunk Virginia has chimed in and is speaking out. Let's talk about it, y'all. If you are brand new to my channel, I do Married at First Sight reviews along with other TV show breakdowns. If you enjoy the type of content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, hit the notification bell, because the new season of Married at First Sight starts next week. And if you don't want to miss any of my videos, and if you enjoy that type of content, go ahead and subscribe so you won't miss anything. So Ryan put up a very very long, drawn out. Look at this. Ryan put up a very long dissertation to talk about his divorce with Clara. So I skimmed over it initially because no one's reading all of that. So I looked at some cliff notes throughout the whole thing, and what we're seeing is Ryan is saying kind of what happened between him and Clara. So one thing I want to point out, he said that I hope you never have to experience a divorce. But if you do, you have the courage to do so with what you feel is right after taking time to come to peace with that decision. No one has ever said that divorces are easy. No one ever said that they're pleasant. They're hard on people, right? Y'all shouldn't have stayed married though. So Ryan also says, what I can no longer do is sit idly. By for is what? Ryan is basically saying he's not going to sit and let a bunch of untruthful statements come out about him or his family. Now, to put context to this, Clara is appearing tonight on the Married at First Sight, the Countdown to Boston special. Apparently, she is telling her side of the divorce. She's going to go through and talk about what she has gone through, what led up to the divorce, yada, yada, yada. So it seems that Ryan has done, because she appears on there separately. So it seems that Ryan is doing this, putting this out to get ahead of the curve with what is going to happen tonight. So let's get into what Ryan says called the dissolution of their divorce or dissolution of their marriage. So Ryan said, the first thing I want to address, you can't truly be open to marry another race and not want to marry their culture, or at least at the minimum understand it. The black experience and black culture are not monolithic. There's no one size fits all shoe. It's ever evolving and changing with time. What I can say is walking into a family gathering and not speaking to anyone and scrolling through your phone will never fly, and declining food outside of a food allergy or avoidance because you don't like the way it looks won't help either. My brother is a pescatarian and my sister-in-law doesn't eat pork. We've made every family gathering work just fine. Let me talk about that. On one hand, I see what Ryan is saying. If you're gonna date a black man, you need to eat the greens. You gotta eat the baked mac. You gotta eat the black eyed peas. You gotta eat the candy yams. You gotta eat the stuff that we eat, or at least try it. That's what Ryan is saying. On the other hand, if she don't want to eat it, then she don't want to eat it. Do I think that is rude? In subtext, yes. But again, Ryan, you chose to date and stay married to someone of a different race. I feel like these are just things that happen when you are engaging with someone, spending time with someone, building a family with someone that is of a different race. in that situation, I'm not picking a side. Not picking a side. Um, Ryan then said, by marrying into a different race culture, you inherently adapt parts of their identity. Most importantly, your kids 100% will. And your kids will need you to help navigate it. They'll need you to help teach, train, and understand as best you can a systematically racist system. Choosing not to attempt to understand and educate yourself is a red flag. I'll say this, Ryan, you had these conversations and you tried to have these conversations with Clara on the show. We saw that Clara was, I don't want to say she's shallow, I don't want to call her ditzy, but she did not seem like a very deep person, right? We didn't see her talk about anything deep. We saw several instances where Ryan wanted to have these like long, deep conversations with her about whatever, and she didn't want to have it. Again, these are red flags that you saw before y'all chose to stay married. So, like, I don't know if Ryan is looking for some sympathy from us, but he ain't getting it over here on Tammy Talks. Not at all. So, Ryan goes on to say, so that representation of me and understanding of what that representation means on the TV screen is important and what should be important to my partner. As the show progressed and we continued to have more conversations around this, my fear of not being understood was happening. While I intentionally avoided having such a complex conversation on camera, it was being discussed privately. I hope the time away from the cameras will help make things better as we all deserve time to change and grow. This conversation started months before a final decision was made and over months of post-show marriage counseling. Um, he said, to give context to this, why am I driven? Why do I carry myself a certain way? How he doesn't want to be, how he can't afford to be the bad guy, or excuse me, to be the angry black guy at work, and different things that we all go through being at work in a corporate context. So Ryan said, do not read this as an accusation of racism. It undoubtedly and most certainly is not. It's entirely possible to not be racist while still being completely unaware. I'll repeat, I do not believe this is to be an example of racism, but more so blinded unawareness that is all too common. Ryan, why did you do this? Why do you guys think Ryan did this? It goes on. You guys can go to his Instagram page. His name is Ryan Oubre. So you guys can go check that out there. But, like, why do you guys think Ryan is doing this? What does Ryan have to gain by basically saying that Clara wasn't open to dating anyone, or Clara wasn't open to getting into the root of his ethnicity, getting into to learn more about black culture, getting into this, because I feel like this is all stuff that we saw when we were watching the show. Season 12 was not as big as a shit show as season 13, but it was up there. Chris had it going, but what I think happened is Chris completely blinded everybody with a lot of the stuff that he was doing, and it overtook a lot of this. Virginia gets her drunk ass on Instagram, and in her stories does an extremely long story about how if you're dating someone that is of a different race than you should be more willing to teach her and inform her and let her know. And on one hand, yes, Virginia, yeah, if I decide to date a white man and he has questions about what it is like for me to be a black woman working in a corporate 100 company where I'm the only black person in my division, one of a few black people in my department, yes, like, we can have a conversation about that. But I also feel like you have to be willing to do some research yourself. You have to be willing to learn about a lot of this stuff on your own, because you are choosing to get into a relationship, to build a life, to build a family with someone that is of a different race, a race that has been oppressed, a race that has been going through so much within the past couple of years, with all these, all the killings and all the stuff that we have been having to go through. You know what I mean? So it's like I see what Virginia is saying. Yeah, if Clara is asking these questions, girl, yes, feel free, engage with her. Let her know how you feel about this stuff. Talk to her. But at the same time, I understand what Ryan is saying too. Why should I have to do all this work? Why don't you want to go out and put some effort into it? It's a very touchy subject, but I feel like, Virginia, this was not your fight, sweetheart. This didn't involve you, Virginia. This didn't involve you at all. You need to be more worried about why your marriage failed. Be more worried about why you chose to stay in that marriage with Eric, knowing that he was controlling. You need to be more worried about your drinking and why you were okay with the amount of drinking that you did on TV. Stop. This entire situation, it's like, I don't know which season has the most annoying people, 12 or 13. If it's not Chris from season 12 coming out and doing the dumbest stuff possible, is Zach from season 13 doing the dumbest stuff possible. Now we have Ryan. So then Clara, after all of this, Clara posts a picture or posts a story and or post a clip on her Instagram, and it's a clip of her. She's going to be sitting down tonight, like I said, on the countdown to Boston special. And she says, I'm not going to lie, my anxiety, or excuse me, every side has two stories. This is mine tonight at 8 p.m. on Lifetime. I'm not going to lie, my anxiety is through the roof right now in anticipation of my story being so public. Speaking out was not something I ever thought I would do, but I'm so incredibly grateful for this opportunity. I've spent the last 6 months of therapy reflecting over my time on Married at First Sight, and I've learned more than I could ever imagine. I never thought that I would speak publicly about my divorce, but I realized that while I don't owe anyone any explanations, I also don't owe anyone my silence. I've spent so much time not speaking up for myself because I'm so wildly conflict adverse. But the only way to heal and grow is to start doing things that make me uncomfortable. And in all honesty, I feel like not sharing would be doing a disservice to anyone going through something similar. Girl, what happened in this marriage? I wasn't gonna watch the show tonight. I might have to watch it. I went through hell and back the last 18 months, and at this point, I have to say, I am so proud of myself and how far I've come. And as nerve wracking as this experience is, I know that telling my story will be integral to my healing process. And let me tell you, I'm ready to put all of this behind me. Tonight marks the final chapter. Blah, blah, blah. And then she has like some type of quote. Yeah, that she has some type of quote. Virginia is all up and through these comments saying, I'm proud of you. I love you always. Haley from that season 2. Jamie Otis. Beth. So it kind of makes you wonder, girl, what happened? I would like to know what is going on. So, how do you guys feel about this? Do you guys feel that what Ryan is saying about Clara not fully emerging or immersing herself into black culture is her, like, is that more so something that he should have been trying to navigate her through, or should she have come in guns a blazing and dealt with that herself? Or do you guys think that that is just a cop out that Ryan said to get ahead of whatever is getting ready to come out tonight? I will make another video when we get Clara's side of the story tonight, and I will let you guys know. Before that, hop down in the comments. Let's talk about this, y'all.